One of the things I share with all my clients is that it is so important to celebrate our wins and accomplishments that we've made and acknowledge them so that way our mind will be open to making more of those wins and accomplishments because our mind likes recognition. And part of what we want to start doing is recognizing ourselves even more. So, in today's video, I'm going to share some wins that have happened inside of my VIP program just to give you an idea of some of the things that you can look out for when you start doing some inner work and some of the things to expect as well. Hey there, if you're new to me, I'm Dan Candell. I'm known worldwide as the anxiety relief guy. And if you're not new, welcome back to the conversation. Great to have you here either way. Over the past few weeks, it's been all about making shifts and making transformations. And a lot of the people that have been getting these shifts and these transformations are seasoned entrepreneurs, leaders in their profession, also a lot of people who are at a CEO or executive level in their corporation. And it's really important to acknowledge that because the shifts that we make on the inside, they do carry over to our professional life. And when we're working more on our professional life, it helps us operate on a personal level even greater. So first, let's talk about a workshop that I did recently. It was a forgiveness workshop. One of the things that I preach all the time is that one of the most healing principles that we can apply to our lives, forgiveness, specifically if you've had trauma. Newsflash, we all have had trauma. It just might not be the big traumas that people really associate with trauma, but we all have experienced trauma at one point in our lives, and we can all benefit from doing forgiveness work. Some of the main players that we want to forgive: spouses, exes, also parents, family members, coworkers, bosses, ex-bosses or employers, even the person who cut in front of us and gave us the middle finger like we were the ones that were the problem. And the reason why we want to forgive people, not go up to them and say like, I forgive you, or write them a letter of forgiveness, but do subconscious forgiveness. And the reason why we want to do that is because it helps us move forward so that way we're not so stuck in the past. So that way we're not carrying on resentment or guilt or shame. We're not carrying on anger or any of those toxic emotions, because they can come back later and they can affect us later in life, and they can ruin our performance and everything, and they can make us feel stressed and depressed and down the dumps, and we tend to get stuck in that, and that's a very toxic energy to be carrying around. So a little bit ago, I did a workshop all about forgiveness, and the results that people got, many people replied back that they not only felt so much lighter, but they were able to think about the people that had wronged them or hurt them or done them dirty without having any emotional attachment to them. And as a result of this, they were able to get more work done, be more productive, take chances that they hadn't taken before. One woman, she worked in a business where one of the other employees was going out on maternity leave, and it was a supervisor position. She asked, after the forgiveness session, she asked if she could go and, or she could become the supervisor and take the person's role that was going out on maternity leave. And she never would have asked that before because she was carrying on resentment, anger, and shame from authority figures. And once she was able to forgive those key players who caused that response, she marched right in the next day. She asked if she could take that role, and she got a $37,000 a year raise. Not bad, right? Not bad. So that's one win. Another win. So I have a clearing group that I do every Thursday at 1 p.m. I do a clearing group. And last week I did a clearing from energy psychology and psychosensory therapy. And what it does, it clears the stuck emotions and the trauma that we have stuck in our nervous system. It clears it on a neurological level. And there's a person, a gentleman who's in my group, and he joins every single week, and he's in my group. And this is a person who has a very successful business online. There's a part of his life that he hasn't been sharing. And whenever we do a clearing, I always tell people in the clearings, let's go in with an intention. So, what he was able to do, he was able to clear on a neurological level all the guilt, the shame, and the embarrassment that he felt about revealing something very personal. And guess what happened once he revealed it? People commended him. He had an outpouring of support. And it really like hit me in the heart because what he shared was something that was very near and dear to my heart as well. And it was something that he'd been hiding for a very long time, specifically in his professional life. And when he actually shared it, he got so much love and so much compassion, and he didn't think that would happen. So that is another huge win. And one more huge win that we had was recently in my clearing group. I did a strategy where I have a person float into their ideal self and then have them imagine looking down and seeing their inner child looking back up at them and experiencing the energy of that inner child being so proud that that child gets to become the person who they are today. And it is a very emotional process. And I did this with people in my clearing group. And after that, there was one person who went and who left a toxic, abusive relationship. And that is, it's just so relieving and releasing and healing when that happens, because she said, I owe it to my younger self to not be in this toxic, abusive relationship. Um, these are results that happen all the time when you do the deep inner work. So when you're doing deep inner work, these are the things that you should expect. These are the things that you want to have a really good intention towards, so that way you know specifically what you should be looking for and what you should and want to be working towards. Sometimes things happen that we don't even realize will happen. Like the toxic relationship, she didn't know that she was going to leave that toxic relationship. But she said, when I saw that younger version of myself looking back at me, there's no way she would want to be in a relationship like that. And she doesn't deserve to. And I deserve to do better for her. That hit home. It really hit home. So, with that said, my friends, I wanted to share this video because these are some things you can expect when you do the deep inner work. You make all these shifts, and many of them you didn't even realize that they could happen or would happen. And sometimes they're very unexpected. So when you expect them, then we can push them to happen a little bit faster than they normally would if you were to go to years of therapy or even take mind-altering medications. I don't think there's any therapy in the world that could, in a matter of one session, resonate and click with a person to decide that they can do something for the betterment of themselves. And it's just changing the way you think, changing the way you feel, and changing the way you respond and behave. So with that said, my friends, if you would like to inquire working with me, all the details are down below. As always, be well, do good, be true to who you are, happy healing, and make sure you rate, follow, subscribe, and leave me a comment. Bye for now.